everybody, welcome back to Intuitive Vibes. Erica here. So if you're new to the channel and you managed to go through my content, and if you like it, you find it helpful, please be sure to subscribe because I do update my content. I try to update it as often as possible, but I do update my content and try to keep you guys informed on anything I feel you may really need to know based on whatever situations you're going through. And of course, to all of my returning subscribers, welcome back. Now in this video, what I wanted to talk about was reasons why the narcissist would not Hoover. And I was kind of contemplating on doing this video because if you're anything like me, you're like, who gives a damn, right? But of course, you do have some people who are going through the motions and, you know, they're not experiencing the Hoover tactics and they're kind of wondering why. Well, stay tuned because we're going to go over my top 3 reasons. Now, if you're familiar with being in a dynamic with a narcissist, whether it's a romantic relationship, a friendship, family members, or even colleagues, you're familiar with a lot of their tactics. Now, often after a devalue and discard period, the narcissist is pretty much indulging in their new supply. So naturally, they're not going to Hoover you at that time. But of course, when the party's over, when the fun is said and done, or when they just get bored with their new supply, they will try to Hoover you back in. But now this depends. This depends on a number of reasons. Hoovering is what? To suck you back in. And we know the narcissists like to play games, and we know that they like to use manipulative tactics to get what it is that they want. Hoovering is no exception to the rule. So what do we need to learn about this? Well, one thing we need to understand is that though more than likely it will happen, there are chances that it won't. Now, the first reason why a narcissist would not Hoover is because, like I explained earlier, they're indulging in their new supply. So they're pretty much focused on sucking out the energy and the attention and the affection and whatever it is they can get from their new supply. They're not really paying much mind to you. But don't fall asleep on that either, because just because a narcissist is embedded in their new supply, whatever that supply is, they still may be keeping an eye on you. They still may be trying to peep in every now and then to see what it is that's going on with you. Narcissists are notoriously known for stalking, monitoring, and being completely obsessed. Because at the end of the day, even though the narcissist has new supply, that does not make you second grade. They're just basically playing in a new playground for the time being. Once that's up and they're no longer able to get the new supply that they want, they may attempt to try to come back into your good graces. But now, of course, this will all depend on the amount of time. Because remember, between the devalue and discard and going into their new supply, you're already in your motions. But now, depending on how long they've been with that supply and how much time has been separated between you, they may have to consider some things. Remember, if they're going to try to come back in and Hoover, they're going to try to give enough time for you to cool off, for you to forget what happened. And of course, they're going to try to sneak their way back in. But there are things that they will have to consider, which leaves me to reason number 2. Reason why narcissists would not Hoover is because maybe too much work that they're going to have to do. Now it depends on the amount of damage that was done. Now, besides the damage, which could be really horrendous, the narcissist has to configure how much damage was done and how much they will have to work in order to maybe redeem themselves. If the narcissist feels that there was just way too much damage because they were aware of what they were doing, they were aware of what they were doing, what they were saying, and how they were treating you. So now, if the damage was too severe and the narcissist inherently knows, damn, the damage was way too severe, she or he is not going to let me in, they may not Hoover because not only will it be too much work, but the chance of you shutting them down and the chance of you hurting their ego is way too much for them. Narcissists fear rejection. This is why they have this whole demeanor and this attitude of, I'm all powerful, I'm more superior. The levels of their mistreatment had you believing that you needed them, had you believing that you were desperate for them. That's where they manage to manipulate you through gaslighting, all kinds of manipulative tactics we already know. They were able to convince you that you want me, you need me, I'm more superior than you. They made you feel inferior. The reality of it is that's all an illusion. It was nothing more but a bluff. That's really what it was. An egotistical bluff. Now, reason number 3, probably the most important reason, especially for all of you who are learning about narcissism, narcissists, learning about the tactics and the abuse and the signs. Reason why the narcissist would not hoover is because you know who they really are, and they know too. They know that you know. They know that you know who they are, what they are. And unlike a narcissist who will not do all of the work to try to hoover you because you are oblivious and unaware, but mainly because you're hurting and you can't trust them. When a narcissist knows that you know they are a narcissist, that you know you can expose them for who they are, and you can basically pretty much shut them down throughout everything, they will not dare try to challenge you. Narcissists are internally weak. With you knowing what you know, with you educating yourself, and you actually saying, holy shit, this is what it is. I know who you are. They're not going to take that chance. They're not going to risk you screwing them up, pretty much. And by screwing them up, that means damaging their ego, shutting them down, saying no to them, pretty much stripping them of any type of entitlement that they thought they had, stripping them of any type of power that they thought they had over you. Narcissists cannot be found out. They don't want to be found out. They want to run through as many victims as possible because that's what fuels them. Remember what I said before, narcissists are like cars. Supply is their fuel. They feed off of that. They live off of that. There's no other way around that. Narcissists will not hoover if they have any idea in their mind that their ego will be shot down. But they will watch you. They will monitor you. They will stalk. They may watch your social media. They may drive by your house. They may drive by your job. They may do all kinds of inconspicuous things. So guys, those are my 3 top reasons. I mean, if there are more, those seem more logical to me, but if there are more, leave a comment in the comment section. You know, you never know who might need it. And of course, if you are sitting there wondering, well, why hasn't the narcissist attempted to hoover me? I've heard about it, so forth and so on. Do not allow that to, 1, consume your mind, 2, make you think that you were never any good for the narcissist and now they don't want to hoover you. Listen, you were too good for the narcissist. You were not only too good for the narcissist, but divine intervention kicked in, because whether you want to believe it or not, them being who they are is actually them being their own worst enemy. Because at the end of the day, the devalue and discard, that shows you, along with the abuse, but the devalue and discard shows you exactly who they truly are. That full mask just comes off. You see them fully bare and in the flesh. So whether you thought that they were your lover, your friend, a family member who was supposed to have your back, the devil can come in the form of light. And I know that there are a few narcissists who watch my videos. I see you. I see you when you hit the dislike button. And that's perfectly fine. Because see, I could take criticism, but I take criticism from people who actually matter, who actually mean something. Those dislikes only letting me know that I strike nerves. And I'm gonna keep doing it too. So guys, hope you guys enjoyed the video. That's my time. And I hope that this helped someone, anyone. And until next time, guys, keep smartening up, all right? I'll speak to you guys soon. Namaste.